Okay, the first 100 days. That's kind of neat. I put something yesterday just on 100 students, not 100 students, 100 days. If you're less than 100 students and want to stop that, and I asked a question about retention, and it was kind of a trick question because I put in if you had 10 people start intros this month, 5 people signed up, and then I asked about retention. Most people, when they figured out the retention, they didn't figure out the quits for the trials. Trial people do count for retention. So if you had 10 people try your program and 5 people signed up, your retention on trials is only 50%. So that's an important number to do. That means you had someone come into your school, totally excited, you're thinking about doing martial arts, they sign up for trial class, they get a chance to meet you, and then they quit. So that's still a quit student. So, well, I didn't give them prices or anything. Well, I think most schools are now giving prices during their tour or giving out the easy pricing method. So I don't know if pricing is really an objection anymore because we're being upfront with that. So again, when you're doing retention, we want to make sure that even people that try our program, they're considered for retention. But once we got someone and they did sign up for a program, they signed up for your welcome program or however you sign people up, it's really important that we treat them very special in the first 100 days. This is kind of a point where people are making a decision that maybe they had a little buyer's remorse or they're thinking about going on in the program, but that 100 days starting program is really, really important. Kind of think of this, I got this picture of this mom just signed up her daughter or son, really, really excited, all thumbs up. And after they sign up, we want to make sure we follow up with good services. Again, we don't want them going home and 2 days later having buyer's remorse, thinking, well, this is going to be tough getting my daughter to class 2 times a week and things like that. So we want to make sure we get on them with good service. We want to make the student and new family feel welcome and assured that they make a great decision. So I have a few things that I think is really important to go over. When you're signing someone up, make sure you go over a checklist. A checklist is things that you want to make sure you talk about to the new student. So if you want to talk to them about what time to come to class, if you want to talk to them about what time their people should be picked up after class, how parents are going to be behaving, that you have testing fees, this is the time to talk about that. Have that planned out. But then at the end of the conversation, after the person signs up, just go over your checklist. So have it in front of you and just check it off that you talked to them about payments, you talked to them about this, you talked about testing fees. The reason I say testing fees is some people think that testing fees are a negative. They don't want to talk about it right away. But when someone's really excited, they're thrilled, they're joining your school, this is the time time to talk about negative stuff. Next thing, present a new student handbook. I don't know if I have this up right now, but the new student handbook is a booklet of maybe 15 to 20 pages that you're going to create for your school that answers all the questions and introduces people to the martial arts. So you may talk about a little about the history of the martial arts in the student handbook. After you talk about the history, you're going to talk about how people progress from white belt to black belt. And then you talk about what's happening during the testing cycle. You may have a section in your handbook. This is the times of the year that we're closing for national holidays. If you're going to miss class, please call. If you're going on vacation, make sure you tell us when you're going on vacation. So it's kind of all the rules and the regulation, everything that people should know should be given in a student handbook. Again, now we're just making it crystal clear of all the cool stuff that's happening in your school. You can be talking about Parents Night Out events, anything you want to talk about. If you would like to see a sample of a new student handbook, if you're a Rainmaker client, you should have access to the United Professionals Vault. In the vault, under Program Directors, there's a sample of a new student handbook. So that may give you a good format to go by. But again, we want all the information. We want questions coming up about testing or anything like that. Number 3 is when we sign someone up, I don't like to just give a schedule and say, come when you want. I want to make sure I assign the classes and the time. I want people on a schedule, in their mind and on paper. I kind of think of this as the gym. I want to go to the gym today. I really don't have a time set on my calendar to go to the gym. I just figure when I have some time, I'm going to go to the gym. It's probably a good chance that I don't show up. I have a doctor's appointment on Monday at 3:30. 3:30, I'm going to be there at the doctor's appointment. So when you're setting up your classes, we want parents to know that, hey, Monday and Wednesday at 4:30, put on your calendar, you're coming to martial arts. So make sure you assign days and times. It's really important for retention. Next thing, make sure you do a progress check. Give them something to look forward to. Mrs. Student, next time we're going to be meeting will be on February 15th. At the time, we're just going to go over a progress check, make sure everything's going good, and we'll have to actually have the instructor fill out a form so we can go over things that you need to work on and things that you may want to set new goals for. So we're going to do that progress check. It's going to be this date, and give them an appointment card. This one I think is really, really important, but I don't know how many people actually want to do it. But I like to give free stuff away after the sale. It's not that if you sign up now, I'm going to give you this. It's going above and beyond and giving extras, exceeding expectations. I remember buying a car when I was checking out buying the car. The salesman handed me an envelope because I just thought you may enjoy this night, celebrate your car. These are it's a gift certificate for a restaurant down the street. It's a great steak restaurant. This way you can park this brand new car in valet and show it off. So I bought the car. He didn't say, hey, if you buy this car today, I'm going to give you a steak dinner. It was above and beyond. So free stuff could be, you did the sign up, you walk by the pro shop, and you talk and say, this is the sign up sheet we have for Parents Night Out. I'd love to have you come to the first Parents Night Out. They're only $20. But I'm going to give you 2 invitations, one for yourself. It's a pass for yourself to come in, and I'm going to give you one to your buddy. Now, mom, dad, Parents Night Out is really important. It's a fun way to have the kids just socialize in the school, keeps them together socially. Also gives you time on a Friday night if you want to do something for yourselves. I also have for you a VIP pass. A VIP pass is good for a free month. Just that we know that a lot of our brand new students love to train with a buddy. So this allows you to bring a buddy to class for the first 30 days, and it's absolutely free. Mom, so I'm just giving you some ideas. Mom, I also have a uniform here because the uniforms are pretty inexpensive. Just say, Mom, you can bring your child here. David's going to come Monday and Wednesday again at 4:30. Sometimes it's tough to wash out uniforms, so I'd just like to present you with a second uniform to make life easier for you. Or you just may want to give it, this is our pro shop. Anything you need for your martial arts experience and to be successful in our school, we have at the pro shop. And here's a gift certificate for $10. So again, we're just going over some free stuff. I know a lot of moms and dads like to wear t-shirts to the school, so if you want to present them with a t-shirt. So that's just some good ideas. But again, the point is making their experience even better than they thought it was. You know, they signed up, they've got the handbooks, and now they're going away with that. They've got their equipment package, and then all of a sudden, surprise, you know, these are gifts we have for you for signing up. I love this picture of this kid. He's all smiling faces. I think he's like the perfect brand new martial arts kid, is totally excited, and he can't wait for all the fun he's going to be having at the school. We really got to treat him like this. He's not a student that has all of a sudden, this is going to be all work. It's going to be really, really tough on me. We want to keep this happy kid this happy kid. So one of the things we want to do is make sure that we plan our curriculum around so he can succeed. A brand new student coming into my basic classes, he's learning some punching, some blocking, a couple combinations. He should be able to learn it pretty well. He shouldn't come to one class and, I just can't figure this stuff out. Next class, I can't figure this stuff out. Now, we have to set him up for success. He has to leave with this smiling face, but maybe some sweat on the brow, knowing, hey, I can do martial arts. You know, I picked this up really good today. I'm going to be good at martial arts. Again, we want to make sure we make him feel welcome. When he comes into the door, it's hi to him. I try to make sure I say hi to my students before they say hi to me. I want to say hi to their parents before they say hi to me. he's going to feel welcome. I'm going to introduce him to new friends. So if he's training and he's in between two other kids before class, that instructor is going to go over to him, make sure he knows the kid on either side of him. He high-fives him, shake his hands, whatever you want to do, but we're going to find him a friend. I want him to know what to expect. So when you come to class, you can expect that all the kids are going to be sitting here. Then we're going to line up. We're going to do some fun exercises. I don't want a mystery and have him a fear coming to class because every class is different. I want to know what to expect. Throughout this, I want to keep building a relationship. I don't want to, all of a sudden when he comes in for the first 2 days, it's, hey, buddy, you're doing great. But I want to make sure this is long-term so the instructors know that we're consistently building the relationship with the student. We're learning more about him, making him feel more comfortable, learning more about his goals, and encouraging him so we build that solid relationship. Next thing, you want to make sure you have a new student flow, just like I think Mike went over that a couple weeks ago. Some of the things that are included in the flow you want to build is a thank you note. This one I like to sign as a task. So instead of just having a postcard coming out that has a typewritten message on it, I want to put pen to paper. I want parents to really know that I'm sincere about my thank you note. So I'm going to go to a nice stationery store, get some nice thank you notes, and after someone signs up, I'm sending a thank you note to them if they're an adult. I'm signing it to a parent if it's a younger student. And I'm just going to say, hey, I want to thank you for entrusting your child's martial arts education to East West Karate. We'll do our best to make sure your child succeeds in everything at the school. If you have any questions, call me. That's all handwritten. Throw in a business card if you want to call you back, and seal it and mail it. Welcome letter. Welcome letter you can just put as an automatic task. Send them an email welcome letter. Again, just letting them know that you understand that when they looked for martial arts school, they had a lot of choices in town. And you really appreciate them choosing your school and assure them that their child or they are going to see their goals come to fruition. Assign your PG tasks. If you're not familiar with PGs, we do 3 of them, 2, 4, and 6 weeks. It's not a letter. This is actually a talk with the parents. So you want to make sure that when you design your flow, you design these tasks at 2, 4, and 6 weeks, and pick out who you want to talk to them. If it's going to be the head instructor, program director, you assign the task to that person. After 2 weeks, they're going to talk to the student and going to do PG1. They're going to make sure that they understand that as a new student, parents shouldn't be comparing their child with anyone else. Martial arts is a endeavor where everyone's at their own pace. We look for your child's progress, so we want to make sure we acknowledge those things. So that's PG1. PG2, we actually talk to parents about, hey, sometime your kid's going to want to quit, but that's okay. We've dealt with that before. The important thing is we always team up and we never give up on your child. So I'm not going to go in details on all the PGs, but again, that would be a task, not an email or postcard. VIP class reminder. The VIP class is usually within the first month after a new student starts. VIP stands for Very Involved Parent. And what we're looking to do is have all the parents come in for a beginner adult class on the 3rd Wednesday of the month. These are all parents of new students. We're going to teach them some martial arts. The purpose is so they can help practice with the kids at home. We may do some flexibility exercises, strength, speed, power exercises that they can practice at home. We're going to talk about coaching, how they need to become good finders, compliment their child so we build up their confidence. At the same time, we're looking for parents that may think that they may want to do martial arts. So you're looking for those smiling faces and go, hey, parents, just got to tell you, almost all the adults of our schools, our students in our school, came from parents of current students. If you want to do something that is really cool and you want to do something that's going to keep your family together, consider doing martial arts yourself. And I saw a lot of smiling faces today. So what I like to have you do is just train for the next 2 weeks, absolutely free. If you decide that, hey, martial arts is for me, we can always talk about a family membership. But it's a great way to get adults into our school. So this happens within the first month of a new student coming in. Most schools do it just so it's consistency, the third Thursday of the month. I mean, that's not like a magic day or anything, but at least I know that's part of my system now. You want to make sure that you send out a video teaching the kids how to tie their belt. This is for your happiness and theirs. I mean, it gets really, really frustrating when the kids come in and their belt's going up in the air and down on the floor. This way you do a nice video of how to tie the belt. At the end of the video, make sure you give them some tips on how to take care of their new gear, when to bring the gear to class, and how to disinfect it, whatever you're going to do. That's a really cool part of the video, especially if you have people who didn't buy the gear package. It's just a good reminder to add to the gear package. In fact, when you send out this video with an email, you can even put a link to the profit generator. Just in case they haven't bought their gear, they can order their gear right then and there. I have this question quite often. When is the first test? If you're on a cycle where you're testing on a quarterly basis, you may be doing it in December, March, June, and September. So December, March, June, and September, you're doing testing. So right now, someone's coming in and they're going in February. When do they take their first test? I think the important question is here, how soon can I get them on the cycle? How soon can I get them where they're in a regular class learning the curriculum for the next belt? I consider yellow belt not really a test. It's something that they earn. So I think they have to really have at least 4 weeks. So someone's going to be here between now and the graduation date, and they have 4 weeks. That's enough for them to earn their yellow belt. It's not memory. It's not how much can you memorize between now and then. It's what can you do to exhibit that you're a black belt in training. So maybe if they're practicing the protocol, they're coming in, they're bowing in, they're being respectful to other students. They're saying, yes, sir, no, sir. They're bowing on the mat. They're showing good self-discipline by having consistent attendance. Again, they're showing their courtesy. They're doing their black belt excellence sheets. When they come to class, they have a positive attitude and lots of energy. That's cool. I would think that they earned their first yellow belt in that time. Again, we want to plan for success. We want to make this doable. So instead of having that you have to memorize this form, these 5 self-defense techniques, the important thing as our new belt gets on cycle, the cycle comes soon, it's showing that they're making progress, they feel good about themselves. I set a goal for yellow belt and I'm making it. That really, really adds to retention in the first 90 to 100 days. So when you're as an instructor, as an owner, the success of your student is your goal. So make sure you do everything possible. They're successful at that first experience. Just a couple other things that you may want to just jot down. Make the student feel welcome at the beginning of class a few times. So when it comes in for class, it's on a Monday, you're bringing David up in front of the class. Hey guys, everyone just take a knee for a second. I want to introduce you to David. David, where do you go to school? And he goes, where do you go? He says, okay, Palm Springs Elementary. Okay, who else goes to Palm Springs? A couple of kids raise their hand. Hey Dave, you got some classmates here. David, what's your favorite thing to do? He goes, video games. You go, no, David, say karate. So we're just going to have fun with David. We're going to introduce him. I want the mom thinking, I picked the right school, man. This instructor is so tuned with the kids. Now I made the right decision. At the end of class, make sure you congratulate the students. And if you have, again, new students, congratulate them for doing well during the class. Or if you have brand new students in class, maybe a few of them, at the end of the class, you just walk over to them, give them a pat on the back, say, hey, David, I've been watching you. I just love your enthusiasm, man. You're so full of energy. Thanks for coming. So, again, building that relationship. Watch body language and attitude. If you ask some people if they enjoyed class, they're going to say yes, but you also can look at their body language and attitude and get a better answer. So when you're teaching your instructors to teach that beginning class, watch bad body language. If you see kids slumping, okay, this is a time to kind of reset the class, get that energy back up. Super, super important. Immediate unlock character. When we talk to instructors, they say one of the most important things for parents with their kids taking martial arts is that they get confidence, self-esteem, perseverance. We want to unlock that character. I was at a Tony Robbins seminar. I was reading one of his books one time. It was really cool because he was talking about characters of successful people. He was actually asking adults, what are the top character traits of the people you respect and very successful people? And people were putting down a list. And then he kind of took an inventory. He goes, okay, everyone, we're talking about self-discipline. A scale of 1 to 10 of self-discipline, where would you put yourself? Someone may say a 3. But that's a really cool thing because you have self-discipline. You just may not have it at the same level as the most successful person. So you had that self-discipline, that's a character trait. When we unlock a character trait in a child, it goes like this. You have a kid's fooling around, or he's really lazy. I mean, he's just like, he won't do anything in class. He rolls his eyes. How do we find the positive attitude in that? We have to look for the opposite. And we have to mention that. I go, David, I'm watching a class say, you know what, I see something inside you that you may not see. I see some enthusiasm, some energy, and I'd love to have you bring that out a little more. So when you unlock the character, you mention to the student, hey, I see this in you, and this is what we're going to do next. Really important technique to teach your instructors so they take advantage of that. Kind of goes along with the next one, become a good finder. When I've got new students, I'm not looking for things they're doing wrong. I'm looking for things that they're doing good. It could be David's coming on the floor, all of a sudden he bows, and I go, oh, David, what was that? David goes, you bowed and you showed so much respect. You stopped there at the mat, you bowed forward, you held it deep. You said, man, you have a lot of pride. You said, good character. Become a good finder. It doesn't have to just be the best kicking class. It could be the best tied belt in class. Make sure you tell them what to expect on Parent Side Out, Stripe evaluations. People want to know what to expect. And again, just obvious, monitor attendance. Make sure that the children are there every class. If they're not in class, do something to contact them. I think it's more important, especially with a new student, that they get a call immediately. The flows are great for doing mass work on a missed class. But if I have a brand new student, he's really enthusiastic and he misses their third class, that's really important. He's going to get called that day. Okay, last thing we want to do is, because it's in the 100 days, if you do a leadership upgrade, if you do some type of black belt club, and you're going to be talking to these people within the first 100 days, just make sure that the yellow belt test is one of your guidelines. After someone gets their yellow belt, that's their first achievement. It's a great time to sit down and talk to them about leaving the 6-month welcome program and joining leadership. Another time to do that would have to be PG3. PG3 I didn't go over, but it's kind of neat. PG3 is 6 weeks into the program, and you're talking to mom and dad. You go, have you talked to David about setting a goal for black belt yet? And they go, yeah, we've been talking about that. Well, that's a signal that you should set up an appointment to go into your office and talk about the upgrade leadership. Or if they say, no, we haven't talked about that, I go, well, I'd really like to help you discuss that, make an appointment. So right after the PG3, great time to talk about leadership. Or when they ask, someone may be there 4 or 5 weeks, and they go, hey, Mr. Silva, you know, my son's been in class, and we see some of those kids in the leadership uniforms. When's David going to go into leadership? Well, if they ask about it, that's the time to sit down and get them going on that. So leadership is your main program. basic is simply getting your feet wet. So we want to make sure during that 90 days we have the opportunity to talk to all our students about leadership. Okay. Okay, Chris Dunham asked about where you can find the recording of today's webinar. There'll be 2 recordings, the recording of the first half with Mike. I'll put that on the Rainmaker Business Solution page. And I recorded this one also, and I'm also going to put this one on that page. So both videos will be posted today. Any questions or comments? Thank you. Now, I know you've probably heard a lot of these suggestions before. Maybe 1 or 2 things were new. But again, I want to make sure that I do everything possible to keep my students. And I want to make sure their experience at the beginning is really, really strong, because that's going to carry them a long way. So any of these details that you probably can either add in or polish up to make it a little bit better, it's all going to be relevant to the experience. Everyone talks about your school. Everyone wants referrals. Referrals come as a result from people talking about your school. So you want to give them something to talk about. And I want mom to say, hey, I just signed up for martial arts for my child. I just can't believe how considerate the instructors are. They're making sure that David's having a good time every class. Or I just can't believe that the events they have in the school, give them something to talk about. So think about the 90 days, and they're going to talk a little bit about the excitement of first joining, but you want something consistent month after month. Hey, I got to tell you about this martial arts school. So thanks for joining me today. Like always, I talk a mile a minute, but I only had a half hour. So that's why I record all this stuff. If you do have questions, you can email me at gregsilva@gregsilva.com, and I'll answer you right away.
Mr. Silva.
Yes, sir.
Hey, do you have time for a short phone call?
Sorry, I don't. I have a meeting with another client in 2 minutes.
Okay.
I have back-to-back today. I have for the next 3 hours, I have private. So
Gotcha.
Later on this afternoon.
Yes, sir. Really need to talk to you.
All right.
It's important this time. Really important. Yes, sir.
All right, sir. Thank you.